Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Jumpstart. I'm Jason Meyer, and this morning is a sunsetty kind of morning. So we're going to look at 4 sunsets this morning. We've got a compositional study we'll look at, and then we have 3 color studies. So the order this morning will be, we'll look at the compositional study of Katie, and then we've got Reenie's color study, Susan's color study, and Tom's color study. So that'll go Katie, Reenie, Susan, Tom this morning. It's got a nice ring to it. So good morning, Miss Sue. Whoops, wrong one came up. Well, good morning, Mr. Tom. Haha, studio day, right on. I'm going to be starting, I think, the sunset and the lilacs today with a little luck. Recording that for you guys, so Friday we can go over the starts of these paintings. But today, there's Sue. Good morning, Sue. Today we're going to go through some color studies and compositional designs so we can work out these problems before we even start our painting this Friday. Well, no, a good day to you, Reenie. Morning, glad you made it. So if you didn't hear, you'll be up second this morning. Miss Susan will be here third with her color study. So good to see everybody this morning. And let's see, it looks like it's 8:01. Does that take care of all of our small talk? Did we miss anything on that? This will be the last free program of the week. We will have class Friday morning. Again, I'm going to stick with the lilacs. Well, let's see what I get done. I should make promises before I've got the material ready. We all know how that goes. So Friday will be a good class. We'll get you info on that in the email. And then we'll be back Sunday night for Sketch Club. So the computer or the Facebook, something, one of the robots ended me last night. Just ended me. So that's why the Sketch Club didn't kind of happen. It was beyond, the robots overpowered me. So that's what happened. All right. So before I get going with my nonsense, why don't we get going on some of your, what happened there? Why don't we get going on some of your beautiful work? There we go. That looks better. So this looks like a pretty good compositional study to me. What do we got going on here? We've got that dark foreground of the beach giving way to the lighter water, still semi-dark, and then the reflection on the water, right, with the sun being the brightest, and then hitting a few of the edges of the clouds. Yeah. Do I have anything to say about this? One? Man, about all I have here, Katie, is something pretty persnickety. Pretty little persnickety here because this looks really nice. But we're going to look at the bigness here because there's a few little things we could see. And again, I'm being persnickety here. Okay, but the reason you guys are here so you can see what's next and how to improve upon it. But before I get that, I want to say one more time, good job on this. Good job. Miss Shakti made it. Miss Shakti, good morning to you. So again, my little persnicketyness is going to happen right here and right here. So abstractly, we've got some kind of solid lines right here. And again, yes, I'm being persnickety. That means nitpicky, 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 nitpicky here. Because this is really good. But I think if we took care of those two abstracts, would be better. And then again, this isn't quite reading to me. I don't, I know sometimes it goes off the side. I feel like that water, I kind of want a little more straight up and down and a little bit more in this area. And again, you're welcome to disagree with me because what we're at now is a feeling thing. And with the photograph, the values may be off slightly, so it may feel a little different in person. But this is all I got, maybe moving the sun over a little bit and then making sure, right, it's square-ish, but we don't want it to be a perfect. And then that might be too big too. It's all a question of how big, small, or large that reflection is. That makes a big difference in kind of the intensity of it. My guess is you're probably going to be somewhere in the middle there for what you've got set up is going to be my guess. I'm going to guess that the reflection for yours maybe about that wide. All right, cut it. Okay, again, I know persnickety. Persnickety. And I think here all I would probably do, all it could probably take would be just one or two little kind of spots over here. It didn't have to be too active. Okay. All right, so that's about all I got on that. Good job. Yeah, it just feels good. If you get in there looking at the clouds, you can be a little bit persnickety and stuff. I guess the one last thing I would say that I think would make a big deal in the end, a big deal maybe not. It's a bunch of little things together that make it a big thing. And again, this is very persnickety. But I would probably make sure that what we see there is a lot less, meaning size-wise, than what we see here. Like I might let that light go up to a size like that. Right? Do you see? We need a size difference showing that that's way far away and that this is closer. Okay, again, I know persnickety, persnickety. And you don't have to, that doesn't mean you have to make it brighter. It just means kind of where the light hits that, or if that's getting some light, it's a little bit larger. Hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and what that's going to do is make that sky more three-dimensional or give it more depth. Okay, and the same here. I like this little bit darker there. And again, it could be reading different in the photograph. But just for the sake of distance, again, because these clouds are a little closer to, not a little closer, a lot closer to us than these clouds, right? These up here are near overhead, and this is way off nearing the horizon. So we want to show vast distance there. And the way you'll do that is with those sizes. Okay, again, I know persnickety, persnickety, persnickety. But, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look who got their own car and keys to a car, turned 16. Boom. Out and about, even before the show. Good job. Nice to hear that, Claudia. Good to hear that. Very nice, Katie. Very nice. Very nice. There's the real institution. The real institution, and I agree. Kaboom. She is the bomb. Cindy is the bomb. We're in complete agreement on that. All right, Katie. It's early where you are, so this will be waiting for you when you get up. And good job, man. Good job. Give yourself an extra little treat this morning for this one. I think so. I think so. All right. Miss Reenie. Miss Reenie. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So let's talk about what we do see here. Okay, so we got dark and it's warm. Right? We were going to have this. Whoops. Be green. And the sky and the clouds gray, right? And perhaps a slight purple. Okay, and why gray and purple? Because we're going to have so much warmth here, we need cool things. To make this look warm. Oh, what? What? What's that riot I hear? What's that riot I hear? You guys, what are you guys upset about? Oh, we only have cool yellow and orange and cad red light. And we got a yellow ochre, and we have burnt umber, and then we have black and white. So if we continued around, we're missing, what are we missing? We're missing green. We're missing all these reds down here, our cooler reds. Cad red light's going to be a little bit closer to orange. So we've got all of this. We're coming down here to violet. And we've got blue over here. So what's this, purple? Purple? Violet. How are you going to get violet? Well, in this case, our black and our white are our cool. So if I add black with my cad red light, that's going to bring me as close as I can get to the violet area of my color wheel. And yes, it's still going to be over here, but in this context of the colors we have, it will read cool. It will read purple. It'd be a gray purple. It's not going to read bright purple, right? We're not going to be celebrating Barney or anything, but it's going to read purple. It's going to do the job. And this is the key about color right here, is you've got to see what you're limited to and then push it around. So we've got purple, right, with our cad red and our black. And then of course that's going to be relatively dark, so how are we going to lighten that up? Well, with our white. Okay, how are we going to get our greens? How are we going to get our greens in this scenario? Our greens are going to come from black and yellow. Right? Do I want a bright green or is it a gray? It's a gray green. So I'm going to use yellow ochre instead of cad yellow lemon to get a grayer green. Even grayer, right, than black will offer. And of course I can add white for the value. Okay? So do you guys see how we get green and purple? Got to start over here. Ran out of room. So all of our colors are in this pie right here. And so we're going to have purple. We're just going to say gray. Well, that's not going to work. Let's say neutral, which it's going to be gray, and green. Right? So we have yellow, orange, red. We have the values, and we can go down there, right? We can go to neutral. But also realize that we do have green, we do have gray, and we do have purple. And you want to really distinguish these and be because with the colors we have, it's not going to be a bright green. It's not going to be a bright purple. But all we have to do is make sure that our purple is different or separated from our green. So when you're mixing purple and green, think about mixing different colors together to get them, right? Because what we're really after is separation. All right, did that make sense to anybody? Did that make sense to anybody? Anybody? Yeah, good job, Katie. Good job. Yeah, Reenie, look at that. We like it. You got a sister shout out, Reenie. Bam! That almost made all that talk I just gave right now worth it, huh? Almost made it worth putting up with. So, burnt umber. Right? This is black, yellow ochre, and white for green. And then what I would do would go a little darker and grayer up here, right? If darker and grayer in the dark clouds. And then on that spectrum, I would move to, it's still going to be gray, but it'll be a little lighter and a little more purple. Okay, and why is it? Well, we've got the sun back here, and what this purple is going to do is going to make this orange appear more intense and brighter. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And Reenie, I think you pretty much have this. But I know there's been a lot of color confusion. All right, so how do we spark this up a little bit? How do we spark this up? Yeah, good job. Look at that. Rini, you're on fire today. You're on fire today. Well, this here feels a little bit cold. Right? And I'd like even a little more warmth feeling in here. Right? To me, it just feels a little cool for a sunset. So I'm going to take this white, and again, this may be things, and I'm going to pull this over to cool yellow. Not green, but the cool yellow. Pretty light. So what's going to happen if we just literally take all the white out of this? Because white is really cool. So the brightest, lightest might be a little bit of this. So this would be the light on the clouds. Okay. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go just slightly darker, a little bit warmer. So we might add just a touch of cad orange here, so that the sun by far is still the brightest thing in the sky. Because part of what we want to do here is give a sense of a glow. Okay, and so this would be kind of the next time around. Now we're going to add steps to this glow and just make it glow a little bit more. All right. A little darker. Again, move a bit more to the warms. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. Somebody hit something wrong. I'm not naming names, but somebody hit something wrong. Okay, you feel how we're kind of walking off just a little bit? And eventually this is going to kind of walk off. To some really warms over here. Is that too dark? It may be too dark. That may be too dark for what we have. Here we go. Okay, and then when we have that, what we can do is, what if we slide this over to our more gray violet. Okay, so that looks too cool. So this is going to be pretty gray, but it's going to look really cool. All right. So right now this is reading way blue to me, but I always give it a chance to get in there and see what's happening. See what's happening. Okay, so I went a little too dark and cool on that last layer. Do you see that? On that last blue. So if I lighten that up a little bit, and let's see how we can warm that up. Does that warm it up? Doesn't look like it. So we might have to drag some warm in here to get what we're looking for. But this feels better nonetheless because the value is a little closer. Okay, and then what if we swung over to that green? But remember, that green's going to be a really gray green, right? Really gray green. Okay, so watch as I just knock the value down a little bit of this ocean. All right, you see that sun got a little bit more intense. So some of these things are small measures. Okay, so I think you've got the right idea. We could keep going here, and then of course you've got to be careful about edges and temperatures, that things don't get too far separated. Because another part of the glowing sunset is some of those soft edges, right? Okay, so boom, I think you're knocking it dead. I think you're knocking it dead. You're in the right things. This even looks good. What you could do here to add just a little bit of flavor to this, is you could throw in just a touch of some cad red into your burnt umber. And what that does is warm that up a little bit. And then look how much that cooled as I warmed that up. That cooled the ocean off. So as that gets warmer, what it's going to allow me to do is push this warmer and even darker. Okay, and then part of that reflection and that sunset is we want to make sure that we're getting enough warmth in there. And generally what I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of a warm gray down. That then I could set my brighter color see as we get rid of that white, and then if we have that cool yellow kind of has the that whitest. All right, I hope that helped out. Let's see some before and after. Actually, let's watch a video, huh? Let's see the video of this. Okay, so my darks I think went a little probably too dark here. I don't quite have it, but I think you can push those values just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. So, but great, 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 great. All right, you're on your way. Look at that. Dang. Good job, Rainey. Good job. You get a cookie this morning too. Is everybody gonna get a treat this morning? All right. We got Miss Susan up next. Miss Susan. Yeah, we see the warm, dark foreground, the green ocean, the orange sky, and then the cooler, grayer clouds. Yep, yep, yep. Look at, oh man, Cindy, she's just handing them out. Handing out treats with love. Oof. Oof. Why am I always working when she's doing that? I want a cookie. Save a cookie for me. Save a cookie for me. Good job. Good job here. Again, these are color studies, and even with Rini, like Rini, you did what you were supposed to do. I was just kind of going over what we were doing and reiterating as much for other people as it was for you. And then just showing you where to go next. And so I think I'll do the same thing here since we got a little time. Oh, look at that. Boom. Boom. If anybody's wondering why she's the best in the world, there's the proof. There's the proof right there. All right. So, again, I probably, if you're comfortable with these colors and you're ready to go, this would probably be all I would do on my color study. But let's talk about and see as we adjust these things. Again, this is all about getting this in your eye and getting you guys used to seeing this thing transform and transform and transform until you can look at your painting and in your mind you can see it transform what needs to be done. Right? So we want to see this stuff over and over and over again. And it's always different. And it's always different. Let's see. Let's see. I think I just get to play here because you guys know what it's all about, right? And this was a little study, so it's not really fair to say, hey. Boom. We got it, that nice warm sun. So what did I do right there? So, Susan, we gotta have a talk. Oof. But you just said I did everything right. Yeah, you did everything right for a little color study at a degree. But, right, how can we add more to that? Do you see how by just adding a little bit of color around that? Boom. And then I think the thing to do is if you want that to have the impact, then like you've done, then have a little rest after that. Have a little rest. Then let's come back in right? Just those few extra steps will really give that glow. And then on the end up here, I think it's you got close here, but if we can get to some of that darker, a little richer red, and it doesn't always take very much of it, but right as we're supposed to drop, and then I don't know, it doesn't look like you've got much what am I trying to say, fog or layer of marine layer or whatever they're going to call that there. But again, look how that kind of dark red budding up against this the clouds. You see kind of what a nice stepping off that is. Okay, and then from there we go straight over to our so I'm comparing this to that red. So let's see. So let's see. Yeah, you know, again, I'm a little bit too heavy, but that one last step of red, I think, would make all the difference. And then, yeah, some of this is just a few layers of graying that down a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. I think so. I think so. And let's see, and again, this could be the photo because it feels like I kind of read this in there. But a little red with your burnt umber. Because again, on the photo at least, this is reading a little bit cool. And so just, you know, kind of by warming that up and go, hey man, that looks really dark. I'd say, dude. Right? So we can do that, and then it won't look so dark too as we also get these things covered. Right, when there's nothing darker than this value, it's going to look a lot more natural. Yeah, going to town, going to town, going to town. All right, again, a tad too dark on my side. But the finesse, the fineness, that's what takes the time. That's what takes the time. So again, I feel like we could use a little bit of compression, but I may have got too much. I don't know. And the other thing is we just want to bridge bridge all this warmth here with these different colors. Right? And how do we bridge? How do we harmonize? Red sunny smear. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, there you go. Nice, nice, nice. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. All right, so how do we get this and this to be more harmonious? Well, literally, you take a little bit of this paint. You can literally take your brush, a cleanish brush, and pick up some paint off of here and rub it into here. You can pick up a little bit of this paint, not a lot, just a little bit, and rub it into here. You can pick up a little bit of this paint and rub it into here, and pick up a little bit of this paint and rub it into there. Do you see? And again, the difficult part about art is the measure. And the measure isn't something mathematical that we do, but it's a sensitivity and a feeling that we've got to get used to sensing, right? Because these measures are too subtle and there's too many things involved to do it logically, right? So you've got to, how does it feel? How does it feel? All right, we're going to be revisiting that, you know, putting this and that, and no, don't put anything in here. But wait, you said da. I know, but this is a silhouette. This is a silhouette. Okay? Now, as you put a little bit of each of these in there, that does not mean that this and this and this start to look all the same. If that happens, you have missed the measure. Even though a little bit of the orange goes into the green should still separate from the orange or the warm, no matter how gray. Okay, does that make sense? The orange and the warm should separate from your gray and your purple. Boom. No matter how gray. But we still want to see, oh, that's purple, that's orange. Oh, that's orange, that's green. Now, we don't want to show them that on the edge of things necessarily, but at least someplace in the interior of that, we want to be able to read, this is different from that. That is different from the other thing. And the other thing is different from this doohickey here. Okay? For 6 years, you know what my teacher said to me? My teacher says, compare, 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 relate, relate, relate. What the hell is he even trying? Does he even... But rather than blaming the guy, I thought, what is he trying to tell me one day? I sat down, what is he trying... What are you doing when you're comparing things? When you're comparing something, you're looking for the difference between it. Okay? So when you're relating something, what does it mean to relate something? It means you're finding the similarities. So what he was yelling all those years, how is it different? How is it different? How is it different? How is it the same? How is it the same? How is it the same? How, look at that. I just glanced up. You got it. You got it. Boom, vibrancy. Just trying to get that harmony, but became confused on what to rub into what. Okay. Yeah. And again, it's just a little bit harmony, but that's it. That's it. All right, I think I should stop right there because we got it. We landed. It's got to be harmonized, but still separate. Right? We've got to agree enough to get along, but we all don't want to dress the same and use the same words and the syntax and the punctuations. Something's lost there. So how are we the same? How are we different? Harmony, harmony, harmony. Great job, Susan. Great job. Mr. Tom Dawson. I'm going to have a little sip of tea for Mr. Tom Dawson. You nearly made me spit my tea out. Oh my goodness. Thank you for saying us 6 years. Well, you're welcome, but that doesn't mean you necessarily get it. It takes a little while. It takes a little while. Oh, look, you got it sold, Tom. You got it sold. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely touch. Yeah, so Tom, man. Tom wasn't listening. Tom didn't listen. That's all right. Tom's a maverick. Tom does Tom. And he did ultramarine blue here. And that's where you're getting this mood difference. And boom. Right, so this is a little bit different here. So what is this? Well, generally what happens here is you're going to have, boom, layer up, layer up. A little bit of warmth here. Right, maybe showing a little bit. But it's going to be engulfed in the gray. In that cool grayness. So I think if we just take this value okay, let's try this. So what I'm going to try to do here, pardon me, had a little sneeze there. What I'm going to do is, let's replace this warmth. Now replace it, just gray it way down. And let's see if a warm gray will work here. Or because we're saying that coolness enveloped all of this, if we're going to have to make these grays a bit cooler. Okay, so still too dark and heavy, huh? Still too dark and heavy? Okay, we're getting a little bit closer. A little bit closer. And I think we might be able to do this. Let's see. Maybe that sky's a little too light for this. So, a little bit of warmth in that sky. Okay, softening these interior edges. Alright, I got my colors off, but I think if you get a little form to some of those clouds. And then what else did we do here? What else did we do here? Oh yeah, I made this mistake on one of my studies, so I hope you guys aren't getting getting this from there, but you probably are. What happens if we keep that the brightest? Right? We just don't let any of this other stuff get as bright as that. Okay, so what I did was I dropped the sky down a little bit. Right? And then what it is, I took some heat out of here, but I still had it too much. And maybe it's because it's so cool back there. The one thing that I would try to go for, buddy, is like I feel this here, I feel this here, and I feel that there. And they just feel too similar. Okay, so if somehow we can separate this from these two, and then these two make part of some sort of gradation where we go darker, richer to lighter, grayer, darker, richer to lighter, grayer, I think that's going to help us out. Again, you can keep the moodiness by keeping these very similar, but they still have to read as differently. All right, so you're going to have to come out with a way to do that. But you got a nice glow on here. Man, a really good mood. I like your proportions. I like the concept. So it just needs a little massage, buddy. And I think you got a buyer lined up. So, man, no pressure. No pressure, but there's a buyer waiting. Boom. Yeah, notice how when I just grayed out that upper section, but it's a warm gray, right? Because it's still getting that sense. All right. So again, just to get a feel for it. Just to get a feel for it. 8:57. Boom, boom, boom. Peaceful. Mr. Tom holding down the studio. Oh, God. Take it. Tom. Uh-oh, got a bidding war going on, Tom. All right, well, not to build the pressure or anything, but there you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Well, I hope this helped out. Hope you have a beautiful day. Get in the studio. I'm going to get in here and try to record the starts for the sunset and the lilacs today. We'll see. So with a little hope, we'll have that recording, and I'll go over both of those on Friday with you. And then we'll push this thing forward for the next 2 weeks. Finding the right measure of something versus will be good fun. Good, clean fun. Good, clean fun on top of that. Oof. Well, if you've got your painting manners anyway. Hey, good job, everybody. Really good job. Yeah, you guys all did good. Katie, Renee, Susan, Tom. Great, great, great. And I know the rest of you guys are working hard. Shakti's working hard. Sue's working hard. So it's great to see. Let's keep producing that beauty. We'll see you guys on Friday in class. Anybody not in class? Check out the Facebook Sketch Club on Sunday. Provided Sketch Club or Facebook doesn't boot me off again. Boof. Better bring my ID next time, I guess. We'll see what we can do. Bye, everybody. Thank you.